it going, YouTube? JamieTheKid00 here, coming to you guys with a tournament report for the new format, January 2014. It's going to be a deck profile that you guys have already seen, so I'll be skipping through it quicker than I normally do, but I'm still going to be showing you guys the cards. For those of you who haven't actually seen this deck yet, I played my Mermail deck. It was identical to the build I showed on my channel. I was planning on refining it to make it more tournament ready, but I wanted to actually still play the more fun cards that I put in, like the Undine engine, to actually see if they were a bit more effective. And I really enjoy using Undine, even though it's a bit bad. And they actually tested surprisingly well throughout the day. They were a very integral part of my deck, and I was glad to include them. So I can't really see myself taking them out without good reason. I just need to find a better way to incorporate them into the build. Either way, that said, I'm just going to get into the build and then tell you guys how I did at the end of it, hopefully, if I remember to. Either way, we're going to get into it. I start with the one Moulin. I dropped this once all day, and I sided it out quite a lot for my game 2s when I wasn't going first. So it was good in the game 1s, but I only ever actually dropped it once. The one Abyss lead, I played this almost every game. You will always play it. Triple Megalo. This was there as often as I wanted it to be. It's a lot easier to search with Undine in the deck, because of course you pitch the Dragoons and add this to your hand. So it was a lot more consistent in this variant, simply because of the Dragoons. So the Undine. I played the 3 Abyss Teus. Again, it's something that I don't see that often, but it was there when I needed it. It often came in 2s or none. Like I never saw 1, I always saw 2. Triple Abyss Lind. Again, you have to play 3. There's nothing I should say about that. Double Abyss Gund. Again, 2 is a good number. 3 Mermail Abyss Pike. I feel like I should say things about these, but like it's all staple numbers. 3 Pike is what you should be playing. The 1 Abyss Turge for getting back things like Diva. If you play Diva, you have to play the Turge. The 1 Abyss Oshia. Oshia is just incredible, so the Oshia goes in. The 1 Dragoon. Sorry for the Atlanteans, the 1 Dragoons. I wish it was at 2, like 2 at the very least, because then you could OTK as well as making Undine plays. But 1 Dragoons. 3 Marksmen. Without it all falling over, it's pretty good. You have to play 3 Marksmen if you play Diva, and then the 3 Infantry, because Evilswarm is a thing, and I actually played against Evilswarm today. I played the 3 Aqua Spirits. I really like Aqua Spirit. I'd consider cutting it to 2, possibly, but I like the Aqua Spirit Teus opening way too much. Even though I never actually did the Aqua Spirit Teus play, I did Aqua Spirit quite a lot, and it was very integral in a lot of my grind games, for making kind of Pike Aqua Spirit plays into Bahamut Shark when I was in a tough spot, especially under Ophion, because I played against an Evilswarm player twice today, which was horrid, once in Swiss and once in top 8. I played 1 Diva, because Diva is incredibly powerful, and again, I had the 1 Diva to match my opponent's 1 Fissure, and I did manage to go Diva, get Infantry into Kappa, detach the Infantry, kill their Fissure, so I was so happy to be able to make that play again. Double Undine. 2 Undine was the perfect number. 3 is too many. I like it when you open it, but playing 3 to 2 controller isn't very nice, and I don't want to play 3 controller. So I played the double controller to go with it. I didn't play any discard outlets or anything to profit off of having the controller, but there were a lot of times in which I did summon the controller to make a Synchro Summon or an Xyz Summon, so it was never too much of a dead card. I did draw 1 in my opening hand a lot, though. And then 1 Tidal. 1 Tidal. This is really good with Undine. If you have the Undine, having Tidal at 1 isn't a problem. If you play the Undines in the deck, having 1 Tidal in the deck is not a problem. I also play the Lavalval Chain, so you have ways to get to this, so it's definitely not a hard card to make. So that is the monster lineup. I believe it is, if I look at this for a second, 24 monsters. For the spells, I play 5. I play 1 Dark Hole, 2 Salvage, these were there when I needed them, so these were really good today. And then double MST in the main. I feel you need to main deck MST with this deck, so I really like those. Not much to say about that. And then the traps, even though I really wanted to play 2 breakthrough skills, were 3 Abyss Spheres, but I would consider putting in more traps in at a later date in the format. So that was the trap lineup. For the extra deck, we've still got all the tokens. I played 1 Armades. I'm glad I played Armades over Catastor because I preferred the Armades for running into opponents' sets. As you'll see in some of the duels I did record. Dularan, I made this almost every match. Dularan was incredible today. The biggest attack I got it up to was 45, so Dularan was really good. And then 1 Gungnir. Gungnir, again, it was another card I made a lot. I made it a lot with a Sphere and a Controller, and it won me just so many games. There was one time I wanted this to be Black Rose, but almost all the time I wanted it to be Gungnir. So Gungnir was incredibly solid. For the Exesis, I played the 1 Armoured Kappa for a 2. The 1 Levier, thank you to Darren for loaning me one because I forgot mine. This is still his. The 1 Levier, I never actually made that, but I made almost everything else in the extra deck. I didn't make the Levier. I made the Mech-Whipped once, just in a stall game state when I wanted to run into my opponent, but I didn't want to lose outright to Mirror Force. 2 Abyss Trite, you need the 2 Trite, and I made both at one point, so I'm pretty happy with that. I managed to find my second one again after I lost it for the last video. 1 Bahamut Shark. I obviously made it if I made these. 1 Abyss Dweller, I made that once to get over a Felgrand, but I misplayed and didn't activate my Gaios in response to the activation of his Felgrand, because this made my Gaios 32, so my Gaios could have negated it, but I misplayed and didn't activate it, so I was stupid. 1 Maystroke, I made that once to get over an Ophion, because I was worried about back row. 1 Lavalval Chain, I made this in the finals of top 8, in the top 2, to Foolish Burial a title because I needed some recursion plays to get past the Firefist player that I was up against. So, Lavalval Chain. 1 Mechaphantom Beast Dracosac. I made that once. I never made Big Eye now that I think about it. I never actually made this. No, I made Dracosac about 3 times. Dracosac was really good. Especially syncing the tokens with Genix controllers. I never made Big Eye, I just never needed to, so it was never a thing. And I made Gaios twice, both times to get over a Felgrand, because it was the only thing in my extra deck that could attack a Felgrand and live. So there was that. That was the extra. For the side, I put in double Fossil Diner. I only drew this once, and I had an OTK on the field, so I never actually played him. Double Max C, these never went in. There was never a matchup I felt that they were going to be good against. I didn't feel that the new Dragon Ruler deck is something you should put Maxi in against, so it might be something that I slow down on my siding of in the future. But 2 Maxi, 1 Space Typhoon to go with the other 2, double Twister to just deal with any removal traps like Soul Drain, Mind Drain, things like that. Even though the only time I saw this in front of a Soul Drain, it got Gyoko'd by Firefist, so that wasn't very nice. Then I played loads of traps. I played Double Debunk. I feel that this card is incredible, this format. It's really, really good against the new Dragon Ruler deck, because it banishes their stuff. Like, they have Return from a Different Dimension. No, not Return, DDR, can't remember, Different Dimension Reincarnation. But this really slows down the deck. It really hurts the deck, so I really like Debunk. Double Iron Wall for anything that may try and remove me. For Bujin, for Dragons. Iron Wall is it's still incredibly good. I tested double Mind Crush, but I never drew it. I put it in against the plant players that I went up against, but I never drew it. I played against 2 Geargia Plant players, which was great. The 2 guys who gave me the ideas for the Geargia Plant deck I played against, so that was great. And then Double Decree, which single-handedly shut down the Evilswarm player that I played against. I kind of sacked into the Decree, which was a bit crazy. So yeah, let's actually talk about the matchups. The matchups were in the first round. I played against the new Dragon Ruler deck. I had never seen the new list. I hadn't really been paying much attention to it. I knew it was a thing, but I hadn't seen the new list, and I ended up playing against it. Game 1, I managed to just kind of play an advantage game. He didn't have all of his draw power, so I kind of managed to slow the game out, which gave me an advantage. And I managed to push past. I managed to accumulate things behind a Felgrand, and then I managed to push past it and win the game from there. And then game 2, I opened Pike Dragoons, so I opened a kind of a nutty hand. Round 2, which I recorded and will be on my channel, I played against a Geargia Plant player. I 2-0'd that matchup. There isn't really much to say. The information will be in the video. Round 3, I played against the Constellars, and this was a stunning loss. Game 1, I misplayed, and he managed to OTK push through me. And then game 2, I actually, and this is really embarrassing, I screwed up and created an irreversible game state. So I basically game lost myself there. We were okay to carry on, but I had opened a hand of Controller, Undine, Abyss Oshia, Abyss Lead, and another, and like a irrelevant card like an MST, and I just lost that game anyway. So it was absolutely horrible. So that was my 1 loss in Swiss. I only had 1 loss all day, which was to the Constellar player, who did top, but I didn't play him in top 8. I believe he lost in top 8. No, top 4. He lost to the finalist, the finalist that I beat. Round 4, I ended up playing against another Geargia Plant player, which I also recorded, the other Geargia Plant player, Darren. I did 2-0 that matchup as well. Like the Geargia deck is still that deck is still in its early stages of development, whereas Mermail's is a tried and tested, really powerful deck. So hey, it's a thing. And then round 5, I ended up playing against Evilswarm, which is a matchup I really do fear, but I managed to keep my head about that one. The Undine engine really gives you a strong matchup against the Evilswarm deck, so it's incredible. So I kind of had the built-in advantage for the Evilswarm matchup because of these Undines. Then in top 8, I ended up playing against the Evilswarm player again, and I did manage to win that matchup. In top 4... I can't actually remember who I played. No, sorry, no, in top 8, I would have played against the Dragon Ruler player that I played in round 1. I think I was his only loss all day. I ended up getting paired against the Dragon Ruler player, but he decided to give me the win. I can't remember why. I think he needed to go, or he just didn't want to play. He wanted to play old format with someone else, so he ended up giving me the win in top 8. In top 4, I played against the Evilswarm player again, which was a 2-0 matchup to me again, sadly. I just had... This deck has so many outs to Evilswarms now, it really, like, Evilswarm isn't a bad matchup for this deck, surprisingly. It's like, if you don't have the out to Ophion, yes, you're in trouble, but there are so many ways to get around it that it's just so easy to do. And they have a lot of trouble, like, finding room for lots of defensive traps when they have to play, I mean, the Evilswarm trap, the spells, and all sorts of things like that. So, they have trouble finding the room. Then in the finals, I ended up playing against Firefist. The Firefist player, I did record his top 8 match against the new Dragon Ruler deck. One of the other players who was playing... 2 Dragon Ruler players topped this locals. So, yeah, that was a thing. But yeah, otherwise, that's about all the matchups. And I've kind of told you guys a little bit of insight on a few of the cards that I played. If you've got any other questions, please stick them in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to respond to them. Otherwise, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys soon with some more deck profiles. I'm going to be recording even more duels, an event I'm going to tomorrow. But otherwise, that's about everything. I'll see you guys later. This is Jamie the Kid 00. Peace out. Bye.